Congressman Hoekstra.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks for the panelists for being here for a very informative hearing. I think, from Eleanor Hill's opening statement, at the end of that opening statement, there are a lot of questions that were raised that I hope this committee considers and we take a serious look at. I want to focus on the comprehensive strategic plan. There's some question as to whether one of those existed prior to September 11. Department of Justice Inspector General report recently said the FBI has never performed a comprehensive written assessment of the risks of the terrorist threat facing the United States. A national intelligence estimate of the al-Qaeda threat overseas was not done prior to September 11. The question that I have is there now a comprehensive strategy document or plan in place that each of the three of you have had input into that you would agree on, that this is the strategic plan, these are the roles that each of our organizations and agency plays, what are its fundamental components, and then as you're talking about the fundamental components, there's been a lot of discussion about people who can get into the country and people who cannot, the integrity of our visa system and our border controls. Does the strategic plan address the issue of the porousness of our borders, our Canadian and our Canadian border and our border with Mexico, as it relates to illegal aliens and the significant number of people that cross our borders illegally without ever being detected? Where do you want to start?
I can go ahead and start on the. We in the FBI have in draft form a comprehensive plan for looking at the threats within the United States of various terrorist groups. It is in draft form. It is nearing completion. It does not address certain areas that that I know have been addressed by others, particularly Tom Ridge and his shop, and that is the borders and the weakness in the borders. But ours is focused on the threat of terrorism and terrorist groups within the United States. We have to date, particularly since September 11th, done analyses of various portions of the United States where we think the threat is perhaps higher than elsewhere. But as I said, we have in final draft form, and will be completed within the next several weeks, that plan to which the OIG report adverts.
Dr. Tenet?
Congressman, I think from the perspective of the foreign intelligence community, Mike Hayden and I, and the components of our community are still very much on that plan, very expanded, that we laid down in 1998. Obviously, we now have expanded the relationship overseas with Mike and our folks and other people, but you've now seen an explosion in operational tempo. You've now seen a far broader reach, and some things I can't say in the open, but in essence, the strategy and the targeting that underlay the strategy 98 is still now extant. There's a difference. Afghanistan has changed in a fundamental way. There's still issues we're working through there. But when you look at the speed and pace with which we're working together, there's a common understanding of the target. There's a common understanding of the collection and targeting that we engage in every day. It's very fast-paced and iterative. And so that's how we're attacking this problem. Now, they're intimately involved as well, because they also bring data to the table that allows us to work overseas and also allows them to work here. So there's an integration between the foreign and the law enforcement community against the al-Qaeda target overseas, and here I might add that I think is quite vibrant.
The question I have, though, is this morning we spent considerable time about talking about holding some folks accountable for not watch listing individuals so that they would have been caught at the borders or coming in. I got to believe that each of your organizations is concerned that the way that you've described al-Qaeda and other terrorist organizations is they will gauge us, they will push, and they will find our weak spots. And if they find out that, hey, we've got this watch listing down, we identify somebody, they're on the watch list, they get to our port of entry, we find them right away, it's not going to take them very long to say, let's just get into Canada or Mexico and we'll walk across. Now, where does that comprehensive plan come into place that says, okay, the FBI's got their piece together, CIA's got their piece, NSA's got their piece, but you guys have your 3 pieces done, but nobody's taken a look at this border component.
No, Homeland Security and Governor Ridge is looking at the border north and south, and it is integrated there, sir. So we come to that table to integrate all of that.
So your plans are being integrated into their plans, and you're providing written documentation. So sometime in the future we can have perhaps a closed hearing where you can present your strategic plans on terrorism in more detail.
Yes, sir.